I would hate to be Jay-Z right now because 50 Cent just went off on him after he was exposed for trying to put Nicki Minaj in a conservatorship. And honey, all I have to say is Nicki better be careful, else she'll be the next Wendy Williams. Apparently, Rock Nation have allegedly already set their plan in motion to get doctors to diagnose Nicki Minaj with multiple mental health illnesses, including bipolar and schizophrenia, so they can get her locked up in a facility and run her down financially. Word on the street is 50 Cent already knew about this, and he's actually the one who informed Nicki that Rock Nation was allegedly doing this. Nicki thought these folks were trying to replace her with other female rappers when the whole time their plan was to eliminate her completely. This mess came up a few days ago when Nicki got into it with Charlemagne and Gucci's wife Keisha Kamor over some comments she made during her appearance on The Breakfast Club. I would like them, all of them, to acknowledge him. Even if they win an award, acknowledge him, because he gave you the stomping ground. Most people don't know Nicki Minaj came out of that camp. French Montana came out. Most people don't know half those people. We know, but most people don't know that. Migos, thugs, like most people, because they don't say it. Keisha and The Breakfast Club were better off not bringing Nicki up, because if they didn't do this, we would have never got the tea about what Rock Nation is allegedly trying to do to her. Nicki jumped on X within minutes of the interview going viral, and she said Gucci wife has been trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Charlemagne the Fraud is Jay-Z friend and business associate using heart radio for these disgusting psyops against innocent families. He was around Wendy before her life went to hell. The buck stops here, baby. Bookmark this tweet. Y'all really do not understand who I really am. Bring it. Let's play. Y'all wanted attention. Let's do it. LAPD, where's the evidence of my home being swatted with a toddler inside 4 times? Drawn. This was the first time she was bringing up Wendy Williams in any of her rants, so that really caught people's attention. She was basically insinuating that Charlemagne was sent to go into Wendy's life and help some higher-ups destroy her. This was a shock to people because Nicki and Wendy didn't have a good relationship prior to Wendy being sick. So the fact that she spoke up for Wendy had people wondering if there's more to the story than she was telling. That's when Tasha K stepped into the chat and spilled all the tea. Tasha claims that the reason Nicki brought up Wendy is because Rock Nation is allegedly trying to do her like they did Wendy. Apparently, they have some doctors on payroll to diagnose Nicki with mental health issues she doesn't actually have, so they can get her into a conservatorship and eliminate her for good. According to Tasha, the reason Rock Nation hasn't done this yet is because Nicki is married, which means in the case of a conservatorship, Ken will automatically be in charge of her finances, not some random court-appointed guardian. And this checks out because all celebrities who have successfully been put into conservatorship were not married. But here's the kicker. Rock Nation has allegedly decided to start a smear campaign against Kenneth by spreading lies about him stealing from Nicki's so that when they finally make a move to get her in a conservatorship, Ken will be flagged as unqualified to manage Nicki's money. And I mean, this man has a record for multiple crimes, so creating a narrative that he shouldn't be trusted with hundreds of millions of dollars isn't going to be very hard. This is not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable, because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signer on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. She trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. She's going into her latter years, and, there's a lot of money on the line, and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way. And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband. So, and like I said, there was only one that was accused of stealing. We gonna leave it at that. Okay, y'all gonna stop twisting my damn words. Nicki Minaj ain't got no schizophrenia. Let's be real. Most of us got a little bipolar and crazy in us, and that's facts. They tried to 515-50 Kanye for being bipolar. It's a mood disorder. Then turned around and attempted to seize his assets just because he was talking his ish. Meanwhile, Wendy Williams is sitting in a luxury hospital suite while her lawyers spend her money. Michael Jackson's gone, and Britney Spears had to flee the U.S. to Mexico just to feel free after years under that conservatorship. What part don't y'all understand? This is a systemic industry takedown meant to make her look incapable of managing her own money. And let's be clear, Kenny, the husband, is in the way. All this started after she tweeted about that damn COVID vaccine. Now, if y'all remember, Nicki made some posts some days ago that someone close to her was stealing her money. At the time, people thought it was Kenneth, but according to Tasha K, it was actually Nicki's former assistant, Kadia, and her ex-bestie, Ra Ali. Let drank up, shall we? Word on the curb is that Kadia, Nicki's former assistant, done slid into a new position. Ra Ali's babysitter and side piece. Now listen, they say Ra swings both ways, and allegedly Kalada handed over Nicki's Apple ID, passwords, and login info straight to Ra. Next thing you know, credit card details were pulled, and the rest history. Ra was history. So earlier today I talked about Nicki Minaj and all those fraudulent charges on her American Express card. Well, now all these old tweets from Cardi B are coming up. And by old tweets, I mean tweets from 2 weeks ago. But when she was beefing with Nicki on Twitter and they were talking about each other's kids, this one tweet kind of foreshadowed what's happening right now. So let's take a look. Quiet as kept. The truth is, you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years. And you also on heavy drugs, cocaine, perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have the power is Kenneth Petty. But you know what happens with that Amex when you sedated? This is Cardi implying that Kenny, Nicki Minaj's husband, is the one running up her credit card bills. And because my timeline is so messy, this tweet came up right after that one. Kenneth Petty sneaking back in after crushing up a third Benadryl in her tacos. And it's Tom with a Hello Kitty Visa credit card just sneaking back in. Yeah, that was kind of funny. But again, people are saying that it was her ex-stylist who was using her credit card. So we'll find out. Now, as for Nicki, she went back on X and posted these AI-generated videos of Jay-Z playing in Beyoncé's closet with the caption, "I am your karma." Now, while all this was happening, word got around that Nicki got the tea about Roc Nation's alleged plans from 50 Cent. You see, 50 has been on Jay's neck ever since Diddy got incriminated because he's convinced that Jay and Diddy were working together. In fact, when Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy, 50 wasted no time in supporting her. He put up a post dragging Diddy for filth after he settled Cassie's lawsuit within 24 hours. He said he paid that money real quick. Should have done that before the sharks saw the blood in the water. And here they come in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every woman he put his hand on. 50 followed it up by announcing that he was going to do a documentary on Diddy and bring out the truth about everything Diddy has been doing, as well as the people who have protected and helped him to carry out his depraved acts. He reposted an article about him developing a documentary on Diddy and captioned it, "I thought Diddy was a billionaire music mogul. If he's smart, he will file bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job, guys. Here come the receipts." He then followed it up with a meme of Jay's photo on a milk jar with a missing label above his head and wrote in the caption, "Anybody seen Jay? LOL." Puff said, "The man ain't answering his phone."